Queens came at a time when I really needed another outlet. I had started Ring Lab Media. We were doing well. We started hiring employees, and I was bored. So I needed to. I'm a visionary, and so I needed to create something different. And I saw this issue in our industry, where it was a male dominated leadership, and the women needed to have a place. And so I started off by women networking with one another, creating business opportunities. And then further along, we at these business opportunities, we have these little cocktail parties, and we started raising money for human trafficking because that was in my soul, that to help other women that had went through what I went through. And so I decided to teach them digital marketing, to teach them how to be a media buyer. And then we were awarded some scholarships, and Queens Arrives was born. Queens Arrives Scholarships for Survivors is our program where we have a curriculum that runs through all types of digital media and marketing, advertising, and additionally have set up internships with some of the companies in our industry for our girls to move on to.
So, as of today, what are you working on? What's going on now?
Well, it's getting to be the end of the year, and now that we have a 501(c), where our donations are tax deductible, and so we really need to get on. Had to get on board with Giving Tuesday and the end of the year, and so we created a steps challenge. It's called Steps for Survivors: Walk a Mile in Her Shoes.
I like that. That is a nice title. Walk a mile in her shoes. I'm sure that's a long mile for you.
Yeah, it's a long
Yep.
mile for them too, because it's not really just about me anymore. It's about the women that I have a purpose to deal with. I mean, not really deal with. That's not the term I would want. I have a purpose to love on them and show them the way. I heard right before I applied for the 501(c), I looked at some data, and that data was talking about the women that left, that exited a trafficking situation, and 2 years later, 75% of those women live in poverty. There's money for boots on the grounds operations. There's money to house trafficking survivors as they exit out of the lifestyle, but there's very little to propel them to economic security. And I wanted to offer that path to these women so that they can have the same life that I enjoy now so abundantly.
Good, good. So, for future references, where do you see the organization going? What are your hopes and aspirations for this? Because I can imagine it can't stop because that is what actually brought you to a new level. That's what.
The long term goal, not every woman that exits out of trafficking is going to want to be a media buyer. It's a kind of a very niche area. But I also have relationships with call centers that do remote call centers. And so my long term goal is to go into shelters and to programs and set up remote jobs for the women so that as they transition out, they'll have a form of income and they'll be able to make better decisions and just have a less bumpy ride to go through establishing themselves and achieving economic security.